Nearly 2 years ago, I was contacted by Thierry Raspail, the director of the Biennale here in Lyon, and he invited me to curate the 12th Lyon Biennale. And he has the rule of the game. He always introduces a word to the curator. So this time he launched at me the word transmission. And I answered by saying, interesting, I would like to do an exhibition on narrative art, narrative contemporary art, but with a special focus on narrative structures, how young contemporary artists formalize their narratives. So after a few months, I understood that I was able to do an exhibition with this theme only by including more or less emerging artists from all over the world. The concept corresponds to a certain kind of reality that has been discussed for many years in literature and filming and art. So the basic rule of the game was quite well framed. But of course, inside of filling up the boxes, of course, you had to make a selection. And the selection was, first of all, to find artists who were able to tell us stories, and artists that I thought had a new kind of originality in their way of telling us, formalizing the stories. So in fact, the subjectivity comes on a very small level of the selection. But I think what it is probably the most new in this Biennale is this young generation born in the 80s. Artists who are dealing with installations and with videos, and who are really born after the birth and the presence of internet and computer systems. And you can see that these artists, they structure their works, even their thematics, they are mixing fiction and reality, and the virtual is a part of their own everyday life. So that's why an artistic like Yan Cheng, who proposes here a video film. It's a film of violence and sexuality and social disorder. He invents new ways of producing a film and imagery, because he initiates forms and figures and thematics, but at a certain point he lets the software take over and generate the narratives. A Biennale should be more or less about the contemporary art. It should bring us something new, something different from the museums and the galleries around the world.